All right, Raiders fans, let's talk straight. The news out of Las Vegas right now has every fan buzzing, and honestly, a lot of us are more than a little fired up. The Raiders have been moving pieces around, bringing in guys like Luke Masterson and Shamar Bartholomew for workouts. Now, we all know those moves are more about depth and maybe special teams than anything that drastically changes the starting lineup. Nothing earth-shattering there, but it does show that the front office is at least keeping options open and looking for ways to patch holes where needed. Still, that's just the appetizer before we get into the real drama going on with this team. The heart of the storm is the offensive line, and it has become impossible to ignore. Questions have been swirling about why Jackson Powers-Johnson hasn't been given a chance to play center, especially considering how bad things have looked in the trenches this year. When the question was tossed out to Pete Carroll, his response was blunt, an absolute no. And let's be real, that answer rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. The way he shut it down, with emotion behind his words, made it feel like there was more to the story than just a coaching decision. Fans can live with a coach defending his plan if there's logic behind it. But when you hear absolutely not about a guy many believe could actually improve the situation, it starts to feel like ego is outweighing results. Think back to last season. The Raiders rolled out essentially this same group on the offensive line. And while they weren't elite, they managed to be serviceable. JPJ at center, Colton Miller holding down the left side, Jordan Meredith at guard, Dylan Parham inside, DJ Glaze at right tackle. It wasn't pretty, but it worked enough to keep the offense functioning. Fast forward to now, and the line is collapsing at a historic rate. We're talking about a pace that could see the Raiders give up more than 60 sacks this season, which will be the worst mark in franchise history. That is not just bad, that is disastrous. Pass blocking has been shaky, but the run blocking is even worse, leaving this offense with no identity and the quarterback under siege. So why, in that reality, would the coaching staff refuse to even consider what worked in the past? Why is only one position, right guard, being treated like a competition? If you're serious about accountability and improvement, then every struggling spot should be up for grabs. DJ Glaze hasn't been the same player. Meredith has regressed. Parham hasn't stepped forward. Yet the conversation keeps circling back to Alex Kappa and Jackson Powers-Johnson battling for a single spot. It's confusing, it's frustrating, and it makes fans feel like decisions are being made to protect pride rather than to put the best 5 linemen on the field. That's why so many people are questioning whether there's more going on behind the scenes. Is there tension between Carroll and JPJ? Is it a personality clash? Or maybe a reluctance to admit that last year's lineup actually did something right? Nobody outside those meeting rooms truly knows, but when a coach reacts emotionally to a fair football question, it sends red flags flying. And that's what Raider Nation is dealing with right now. Watching their team get pushed around in the trenches while potential solutions are brushed aside. What makes it worse is the feeling that this stubbornness is driving the team in the wrong direction. Imagine someone driving down the highway the wrong way, and when you hand them a map, they refuse to look at it because admitting they're lost would bruise their ego. That's the vibe a lot of fans are picking up from Carroll right now. And this isn't just about losing games in the short term. This is about the larger plan the organization has been trying to put in place. If the offensive line can't develop, if young players can't get the right coaching, then the foundation of the entire rebuild is in jeopardy. The worry doesn't stop at the current starters either. The Raiders invested draft picks in Caleb Rogers and Charles Grant, hoping these young linemen could become part of the long-term answer. But who honestly believes they're in the right hands right now? The development simply isn't there. And if the guys coaching this unit can't even get consistent play from veterans, why should we believe they can mold rookies into reliable starters? That fear is real, and it's spreading among the fan base. What makes this sting even more is the comparison to the Josh McDaniels era. Nobody wants to go back to those days, but some of the patterns are starting to feel familiar. Contradictory answers at press conferences, an unwillingness to adjust, the sense that favoritism is playing a role in who gets opportunities. That was the nightmare with McDaniels, and fans thought they left it behind when the organization cleaned house. Hearing Carroll's words now, though, it's hard not to get Deja vu. It's not that anyone thinks Carroll is the same type of coach or leader. He has a track record of success in both college and the NFL, but the tendencies showing up are eerily similar, and that alone is enough to put people on edge. The truth is, Raider Nation can accept losses if it feels like the team is being built in the right way. But when the effort looks half-hearted, when problems go unaddressed, and when coaches double down on bad ideas instead of fixing them, that's when the anger boils over. Fans know football. They know when the offensive line is the worst in the league. They know when their quarterback has no chance to make plays. And they know when a simple adjustment could at least give the team a fighting shot. That's why the flat refusal to consider JPJ at center has become such a flashpoint. It represents the larger frustration of watching avoidable mistakes pile up week after week. What's really setting people off right now is that it feels like the Raiders are living in denial about the state of this offensive line. Carroll said the staff has invested a lot of time with guys in their current spots, which sounds fine on paper, but when that investment leads to the worst unit in football, it's not really an investment anymore. It's a mistake you keep doubling down on. And then in the same breath, Carroll has also said multiple times that they are still learning the roster. You can't have it both ways. You can't claim you've invested months of work in a group, while at the same time admit that you're still trying to figure out who everyone is. That contradiction is exactly what drives fans crazy, because it makes the message sound less like leadership and more like excuses. And if we're being honest, excuses don't block defensive linemen. Excuses don't keep the quarterback upright. Excuses don't win football games. The reality is, Raider Nation is watching the same tape as the coaching staff. They see the breakdowns. They see the missed assignments. They see a run game that can't get going and a pass game that never has time to breathe. So when they hear that the coaches are standing firm and not even entertaining changes, it feels like the fans are being gaslit. Like the problems that are painfully obvious to anyone with a television are being brushed aside. That's why people are so emotional about this issue. It's not just about wins and losses. It's about feeling like the team is ignoring the truth that's right in front of them. And let's be real, this isn't just about one position or one player. If you really believe in competition, then every struggling spot should be challenged. That's what makes great teams. Right now, it seems like the only battle is at right guard, while the other underperformers get a free pass. That's not competition, that's favoritism. And it breeds resentment, not only among the fans, but potentially in the locker room as well. Players see who's being held accountable and who isn't. They know when the standard is uneven. And once that sense of favoritism creeps into a team, it spreads fast. That's why fans are connecting dots and wondering if there's something personal going on with Jackson Powers-Johnson. Because when one player keeps being singled out, when the answer is absolutely not, instead of we'll consider every option, it looks like a vendetta. Nobody wants to say that out loud, but the vibe is impossible to ignore. Even families of players have been engaging with this conversation on social media, liking posts about moving JPJ to center or moving on from certain coaches. That tells you the frustration isn't just in the stands. It's in the homes of the people wearing silver and black every Sunday. And then there's the fear of history repeating itself. Fans lived through Josh McDaniels already, and it was a disaster. They don't want to feel those same vibes again, but Carroll's stubbornness is making it hard not to. When a coach contradicts himself, when he doubles down on ideas that aren't working, when he picks favorites instead of rewarding performance, it starts to look a lot like the McDaniels playbook. Nobody is saying Carroll is the same person or the same coach, but the similarities are enough to bring back bad memories. Raider Nation is passionate, and they will back their coach if they see progress. But when progress feels stalled, the doubt creeps in fast. What makes it even harder to swallow is the off-season strategy. Instead of aggressively fixing the offensive line, the Raiders patched it with bargain pieces and trusted in-house solutions. That gamble has backfired in the worst way. The team isn't just struggling, they're breaking records for futility. To hear the staff say they just need more time with these guys doesn't sit right with anyone. Because more time doesn't guarantee growth if the fundamentals are broken. More time doesn't magically develop players who aren't being coached the right way. And that's why fans are worried about the young linemen drafted this year. If the veterans can't even function under this staff, how can rookies possibly thrive? The truth is, leadership is being tested right now. Fans can forgive losses if they believe the long-term plan is solid, but what they cannot forgive is arrogance in the face of failure. They cannot forgive watching their quarterback take sack after sack while potential solutions are dismissed without a second thought. They cannot forgive a run game that never gets off the ground while the same 5 players keep trotting out there with no accountability. Raider Nation is loyal, but they are not blind. They can see when a team is driving down the wrong road, and they will say so loudly. Carroll has always been known as a leader of men, and that reputation is the only thing keeping some people hopeful. He has proven before that he can win, both in college and the pros. But those past victories don't excuse what's happening right now. This is about the present, about the here and now. If the Raiders don't start making adjustments, if they don't start rewarding performance over pride, then this season risks unraveling before it even hits the halfway point. And for a fan base that has already suffered through years of mismanagement, that is simply unacceptable. What Raider Nation wants is simple: a team that fights, a staff that adapts, and leadership that owns mistakes instead of ignoring them. Nobody expects perfection, but they do expect effort. They expect honesty. They expect the coaches to see the same problems everyone else sees and to have the courage to fix them. That's the bar. And until the Raiders start clearing it, the frustration will only grow louder because this fan base refuses to settle for mediocrity anymore. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Las Vegas Raiders. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The NFL rumor mill is buzzing with whispers that could shake the league in the coming months. Sources close to the matter claim that Shadur Sanders, the young quarterback sensation, recently received an enticing offer from the Las Vegas Raiders, a team looking to revitalize its offense and inject new energy under the bright lights of Allegiant Stadium. While details of the offer remain under wraps, insiders suggest it was substantial enough to make even the most confident play, reflecting his awareness of the pressures that come with stepping into a franchise desperate for a quarterback to turn the tide. Whatever the reason, the comment has left the Raiders' front office quietly recalculating and rival teams closely monitoring the situation. The Raiders, known for their bold moves in recent seasons, reportedly see Sanders as a potential cornerstone for the future, someone who could blend a strong arm with a dynamic playmaking ability reminiscent of his father's legendary career. But the quarterback, ever mindful of timing and opportunity, appears to be signaling that patience is part of his strategy. Analysts suggest that this could mean Sanders is weighing his options carefully, perhaps aiming for a situation where he can immediately step into a system built around his strengths. For fans, the news has sparked a flurry of speculation online, with social media buzzing with theories. Some argue that turning down the Raiders now only increases the drama and desirability of a future move, while others see it as a mature, calculated decision that underscores Sanders' long-term vision. Regardless, the comment has put the NFL on notice. This is a young talent with both skill and the wisdom to pick the right moment to shine. As the rumor continues to circulate, all eyes will remain on Sanders. Will he eventually join a team like the Raiders? Or is this just the opening chapter of a longer, more deliberate journey toward NFL stardom? For now, the league waits, intrigued and eager, as the quarterback bides his time. One thing is clear. When Shadur speaks, even a short phrase like "not the right time" can send shockwaves through the football world. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Las Vegas Raiders, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.